An imbecile or an insane person, exempting circumstances, the Revised Penal Code, Part 3. In the case of People versus Bonoan, an irresistible homicidal impulse was considered embraced in the term insanity. It may be said that a person who has lost the power of his will, at the moment, also lost consciousness of his acts. On the other hand, if the mental disease or mental defect of the accused only diminishes the exercise of his willpower, and did not deprive him of the consciousness of his acts, then kleptomania. If it be the result of his mental disease or mental defect, is only a mitigating circumstance. Epilepsy may be covered by the term insanity. Epilepsy is a chronic nervous disease characterized by fits, occurring at intervals, attended by convulsive motions of the muscles and loss of consciousness. Where the accused claimed that he was an epileptic but it was not shown that he was under the influence of an epileptic fit when he committed the offense, he is not exempt from criminal liability. People versus Manco and Aguilar. Feeble-mindedness is not imbecility. In the case of People versus Formigones, Supra, it was held that feeble-mindedness is not exempting, because the offender could distinguish right from wrong. An imbecile or an insane cannot distinguish right from wrong. Pedophilia is not insanity. The doctor's testimony, however, did not help accused's case because although he admitted having initially categorized accused as insane, the doctor eventually diagnosed accused to be afflicted with pedophilia, a mental disorder not synonymous with insanity. He explained that pedophilia is a sexual disorder wherein the subject has strong, recurrent, and uncontrollable sexual and physical fantasies about children which he tries to fulfill, especially when there are no people around. He claimed, however, that despite his affliction, the subject could distinguish between right and wrong. In fact, he maintained that pedophilia could be committed without necessarily killing the victim, although injuries might be inflicted on the victim in an effort to repel any resistance. People versus Diaz. Amnesia is not proof of mental condition of the accused. Amnesia, in and of itself, is no defense to a criminal charge unless it is shown by competent proof that the accused did not know the nature and quality of his action and that it was wrong. Failure to remember is in itself no proof of the mental condition of the accused when the crime was performed. People versus Tabugica. Other cases of lack of intelligence. 1. Committing a crime while in a dream. One who, while sleeping, suddenly got up, got a bolo, and upon meeting his wife who tried to stop him, wounded her and also attacked other persons, is not criminally liable, it appearing that the act was committed while in a dream. People versus Tainio, the act was done without criminal intent. Somnambulism or sleepwalking, where the acts of the person afflicted are automatic, is embraced in the plea of insanity and must be clearly proven. People versus Gimena. In the case of US Odicta, it was held that the case of the somnambulist falls under the rule that a person is not criminally liable if his acts are not voluntary. The ruling in the case of People versus Gimena and that in the case of US versus Odicta are not inconsistent. The act of a person is not voluntary when he does not have intelligence and intent while doing the act. A. Hypnotism. Whether or not hypnotism is so effective as to make the subject act during artificial somnambulism, is still a debatable question. 2. Committing a crime while suffering from malignant malaria. Thus, one who was suffering from malignant malaria when she wounded her husband who died as a consequence is not criminally liable. Because such illness affects the nervous system and causes among others such complication as acute melancholia and insanity at times. People versus Lassina. Basis of paragraph 1. The exempting circumstance of insanity or imbecility is based on the complete absence of intelligence, an element of voluntariness.